Beep, 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 beep. All that's new and approved from the Jester News are. So I'm steaming up here because I'm cooking. I've got some friends coming over for dinner. Have some dinner to watch a film, I think. Well, what can I say? Scotland did it. It threw women under the bus. Threw women under the bus. Well, this is what, unfortunately, we get when stupid people have power. That's the only way that I can see this. I can't see it any other way. Now, from the perspective of women in Scotland and women everywhere who've seen what have happened, you have my condolences, and it's the most appalling thing, I think. And take heart. There's a number of things that can happen now, from what I can gather. I've had a look. There isn't much information yet about who voted against the whip and who didn't, or whether or not this is something that Westminster are going to take a hand in. Now, I understand that Westminster have 4 weeks in which to enact a piece of legislation, which strangely enough has never been enacted before in history. I couldn't think of a better time to do it. And they'll enact this piece of legislation, and if they do so, it will mean that this law will then probably go to judicial review. So it ain't over till the fat lady's things. The problem I've got with that is manifest. Manifest is manifold, right? First off, I don't think Rich is capable of doing it. And I don't think that Rich is capable of doing it because he's deliberately put a queer theorist supporting TRA as Secretary of State for Education. And I've seen neither hide nor hair of Kevin Badenoch for days. Not for days. In fact, the voices that we've been hearing are the voices of people like her and Caroline Noakes. So my worry is that they don't have the balls for the fight. And that's what it's going to be, is a fight. Okay, so that's something that I think we'll have to wait and see what happens, what the announcement will be. And I don't know what the EHRC are going to make out of this either. All I know for certain is that it's now happened in Scotland, and that means we have to be more vigilant than ever to what is the result of this happening and what kind of thing can we expect to see. We know it's occurred in other countries. We can keep an eye and find out what's happening here. But as an aside and as a thought that came out of nowhere once I watched this occur in some strange slow motion, is that it's probably time now for us to begin to seriously think about parallel institutions in all fields, but in particular in the fields of education. It is obvious to me at this point that the fight that we're about to have, regardless of what happens in law now, because we are in wilderness, I don't know where we are with it all now, and we won't know for 4 weeks, is that this is the fight for the minds of the next generation. And that we now have a generation who are so useless and who have been so damaged by this nonsense, along with other things like equity, that I've got people I'm working with in universities who can't get students to do PhDs because they're too stupid. But not just too stupid, because they're wrapped up in activism and they can't hide it. PhD students in things like science and medicine, who think that sex is a binary, and who think that, you know, if you take a few hormones and cut your bits off, you become something which you are not. We've lost a generation to this because of the likes of Stonewall, Educate and Celebrate, the LGBT Foundation, and anyone else that has been involved in pushing this boondoggle. It's that simple. It's that simple, right? And it's gone beyond the, yeah, but my friend is. This is not at this level any longer. I think we have to be circumspect about that. Now, I recognise that, unfortunately, the whole thing is rotten to the core, which means I think that we need to completely eliminate both the Gender Recognition Act and the Equality Act and start again. It's the only way I can see it working. Suella Braverman gave a great speech, I don't know whether you saw it, about the Equality Act, trying to explain to people why the Equality Act is not compatible with British law, because it was designed by Europeans who have Napoleonic law. It's a different law to our law altogether. And the conflation of the two doesn't help. But what I know is happening currently is that the petition doing the round, that I saw pushed by Emma today, Beetle, fond of, Beetles thereof, by Emma, and Helen Joyce was also pushing it. So I'm going to do the same. I'll pop it at the Dewberries. I want you to do me a favour, and I want you to share this video, and I want you to put the link to the petition with it if you could, so that people can understand what the petition is for. The petition is to clarify the meaning of the word sex in law, and it needs to be clarified so that sex only ever refers to biological sex, which is actually all there isn't anything else, it's just nonsense, the rest of it. To hear Scottish MPs saying, sex is not quite so binary as you'd like to think, actually it's on a spectrum, and, you know, men on podiums show you this. Well, they're nuts. Absolutely. I can't. What's her name? Heather McCrackface or something. I don't know what her name is, but she's always at it. And there's another one as well. I can't remember the name of either of them now because I'm so angry. But I can't remember their name. The importance of trans people, the most victimised people in the world. Victimised, they are victimised to such an extent. Right? It's the usual stuff that you get out of people because they don't understand what's going on. And that's, just the way... Cause, and they've been sent it all. It's not like women haven't sent it to them, but all of us have sent stuff to them saying, you need to understand what this is about. Right? So from my perspective, and only my perspective, obviously others will do what they're going to do, parallel organisations is the only way to go. Now, I was very interested to see that I got an email from Texas today talking about the first year of the university that Kathleen Stock has been part of setting up. And it was a very exciting email indeed. I'm excited by that kind of thing. The work they're doing is phenomenal. And this is what we need to start over here, okay? We need to start doing stuff that's going to teach children that this is crap. So that's what I'm going to start working on in January. I'm going to start working on a workshop for kids. Right? Not children, not, we parents, no, don't even know how to talk to those things, right? But for older kids, teenagers who are possibly entering their GCSEs, possibly looking at beginning what could be either a career that will move them forward academically or in business or whatever it may be, which will be done in such a way that I don't mention any of this, but it means that once they've done the course, it will be impossible for them to believe it. How's that for a challenge for me for Christmas? That's what I'm going to do. I didn't expect to be doing this video, and I'm obviously only doing it because of what's happened in Scotland. But that's enough of that. I'm just putting this one out as an emergency job. I'm supposed to be having a break. Look at me. I'm not having a break. What break? Not happening. But, okay, so do the usual. If you could, subscribe and, buy me a Christmas coffee or Christmas beer, as they say, all in the links in the doobras. And come on, take heart. I know it's a big lose, but take heart. There's work still to be done. It's not the end. And there's things that we can do. Clarification of the Equality Act would be very helpful. If Westminster stand up and go, not happening, so they stop it from getting ratified, that'll be a good thing. But it could be that there'll be clarification in law if we can get enough people to sign this what is it? It's a petition that I put in. I've had a wine. It's the petition. It's a petition that I put in the thing in the doobras, right? Okay. So I'm saying, please do that. Please share the petition. Please share this video and let's get people signing it to get it up to 100,000, because at that point it will be debated in government. Self-ID, I believe, is being debated in government shortly because they've got a petition out with over 100,000. I hope the answer will just be no. If they decide to bring in self-ID in the UK, that's it. It's game over. Then we really are talking about building political parties. Fight never ends, does it? You think it does, but it doesn't. Now, the other thing is, in a couple of days' time, because I got cold feet and took it down, I've done a video of me where I'm a little bit foolish and I sing a stupid song with stupid words. I don't know why I did it. I've watched it twice. I've taken it down twice. I put it back up again today. So I've scheduled it and I'm going to let you decide. If you think I'm a lunatic, I'm just going to take it down again because obviously I'm a very foolish man. Other than that, go well. Have a great Christmas. Food to cooking. Bottle of wine. Few friends. Movie. It's one of those nights, All right, so please share the petition. Let's get it to 100,000. Let's get clarification on sex in law here in the UK, which will, of course, then trump any nonsense that comes from Bonnie Scotland, from the wee Jimmy Cranky. Okay? Take heart. Let's keep going. Okay? Let's keep going. I intend to. Go well, folks.